welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. You join us for unboxing and putting together of Streets of Venice scenics.
Yes, so in the continuation of building Venice, today we have the Venetian House B. Mm-hmm. We also have the Venetian Casa B. Cool. And we have the Venetian window gardens as well, which, much like the balconies you may have seen in the previous video, we don't know whether we're going to be using them, but we'll put them, we'll have a look at them, maybe put them together, maybe add them onto one of these. That's a pretty plain looking house.
Yeah, I was thinking we could probably put one on there.
Yeah,
maybe.
so we'll have a look. Then it gives you something to stand on or jump off. But you can see there how it kind of goes. So we will. That's one of the plainer houses that it's on though. So we'll see if it fits, because it looks like it goes on one of those lips as well. So yeah, maybe if we can fit this one on this one, it'd be pretty good, because this one doesn't look like it's got any balconies or any parts to jump off. And with that in mind, we'll start on that one, I think.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a case of trying to get into it now.
Certainly is.
I did get a bit.
Sorry.
It's just
talking with yourself.
Yeah, 6 hours later. There we go. See? Did it.
Cool. Right, so the grey board. We've got coins, we've got windows, pretty basic stuff, and we've got so we've got a window frame and a door handle. We have door. Door is separate, so I could hinge it if I want. If we're going to use the balconies, I probably won't bother on this one. It's pretty plain. I don't know. Thinking as I'm going. So again, like I always say, if they pop the darts out. If it takes any more effort than that, use a knife so that it doesn't tear. I always cut from the back. Say that on every video, just in case someone comes in and they haven't heard me say that before. It's unlikely, but
you never know. Right,
so that's one floor. That's again, these just push out like that. That's pretty straightforward. That one just fell out. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take off all these parts, cut the back of the grey board as well, because that's the best way to do it. Cut it from the back. And we're back once we're ready to start. Okay, so we've got all the parts off. This is a very similar build to the last video, whereas we've got 3 floors. And again, we've got the same situation with the very thin joins there. So when I'm putting these together, I'm going to be testing that they actually fit in and filing them down if they don't. So we have the door. We can optionally open that or shut that. It's a good one because I could just use one. I might actually do it anyway, because it's only going to take one hinge, because it's a full door and I can stick it right in the middle, and it's a pretty straightforward one to do. So I'll probably hinge it anyway, regardless of what we choose to do with like adding balconies with fake doors on, if you will. But this is how it goes together. So we have this is the ground floor, sorry, first floor roof. So ground, we have which way does it go? That's the back. So the part with no holes on it is the back part. So that means that the door's going to go on this side. I mean, I think you probably. No, you'd have to put it that way around. No, it can't go that way around, he says to himself. Let's he chatters to himself. It's going to have to
No, it's going to go the other way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to go the other way. It's hard to tell because it's just a square, so which way is the square? Because they've covered up the edges with the coins. Right, so the door's going to go on that side. And then we have the long side. And the long side has one, one long piece there. There should be 2 of those actually, shouldn't there?
There's another one there.
Right, is there any difference between these two?
Well, looking at that, it's got a bit of brick at the bottom.
Shows this brickwork damage right at the bottom, which is most likely where brickwork damage is going to happen, I would imagine. So that's going to go on there. So same, we can't see the other side, but then there's going to be 2 of these, which are going to be very similar. And they've both got brickwork at the bottom. They've both got exactly the same lines and everything. Same fit. So you could fit either of these, to be fair. I'm going to go with that one. That's going to fit on those holes though. Which means we've also got the same thing again. We're going to have 1, so we have 2, aren't we? Could possibly go there. 3 maybe.
3.
No, 2.
Yes, 2, yeah.
Because of the way around it is. So we've got that one, and we've got that one. So, I'm going to go with the extra damage at the bottom, I think. It really doesn't matter, you could use them either way around you want. But these 2 floors, the 2 floors are built almost identically. So, you got your 3 pegs going on that side, that's that, then your 1 peg. So what you can do is you can line these 3 walls up, push them into place. Then because that one doesn't have pegs, you can just then glue that one in. Or you can do it like I've been doing it. You can glue the 4 walls together and slot them in one go. Because it gives it some extra strength when you're slotting it in. Whichever way you prefer doing it, basically. I'm going to put a hinge on the back of that. And then we'll start on the 2nd floor. Which I said is exactly the same. So the other thing I have been doing is, once I've got these stuck together in a square, I've then been putting the next floor on it while it dries. So make sure you've no glue along the top at all, and then check your fittings. It's a good idea to check your fittings first. Make sure all these, see, nearly went then. So I'm going to reinforce that with a bit of glue, and I'm going to file that down a little bit. It's a really tight fit. Yeah, and if you get it wrong, it will break through and tear it. It nearly did then, to be fair. Right, so I'm going to test that and get that ready to go on as well. So we're back when we've done that. Okay, so we've done the ground floor there. And I've hinged the door and made sure that this next floor does fit on. Didn't take a lot actually, I just took the edges off and it stopped it from catching when it went on. So next up will be the next floor, which is almost identical apart from it doesn't have the door on. And you're doing exactly the same thing, building it exactly the same way. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to make sure that this one fits. I'm going to be even more careful with this one because it's really thin there. And then we can move on to doing this bit on the roof. So I'll get the next floor done and then we'll be back. So I've successfully made our 2nd box, basically, and fit everything onto it. There we go. While that's drying, yeah, there's the roof. So we're going to move on to the roof next. This looks like the roof from the previous one as well, which I still have one here, which should look exactly like this when we're finished. It looks like it's exactly the same fittings and everything. So what we're hoping to achieve using 2 long pieces, 2 short pieces, going around like that, and then all these plugs are where these are going to go. So it should be 3 and there should be 5, which is exactly the same. It's exactly the same make as this roof, to be fair. So we'll stick this together. Then you have these parts, which are going to go like that, and then between those, actually put that way around. I like to keep the shiny part outwards. And these little plugs are going to go in there. But first, we're going to attach them to this bit. So long sides, short sides, simple enough. And then we'll come back with a 2nd finished roof. Okay, back in a moment. Okay, so we're back. and finished the building.
Flicked everything up.
I left it upside down so it can dry. Just prove it, I'm not just use the other one. There it is. I didn't just Blue Peter it. So that's now dry. I'm going to leave that upside down so it dries. I did it with the other one, it seems to dry alright. There are some gaps in the side. I've tried bossing them together. It does close them a bit, and if you use an elastic band, it'll probably keep it a bit tighter, but I couldn't buy one, basically. I'm fine, I might just use some filler on the edges just to fill it in or something. I'll decide if I want to do that or not. Right, so the last part of this build will be to put on the grey board. So we have the coins that go on the edges, and it looks like if we start where the door is on the picture, they're going to go that way up on there, and then on this bit they're going to go the other way up. So they just need gluing on there. The door, we've got the frame, and that hinge is really loose actually. They're not normally that loose, normally a little bit stiff, but that's been really easy to open and close at least. We've got the door frame which is going to go on there. You can line that up using those lines on there, if you can see them. Two diagonal lines coming off. Line that up against them. And you can also line it up with the lines at the bottom. And then we have the
The door handle.
little cue there, which is the door handle. That's going to go there to make it 3D. And then I'm going to go and put on the window frames, which is going to go around the outside. And then, in theory, what you do is you'd put it around the second floor as well. I'm going to leave them blank for now until we've got the next one open, the gardens, the Venetian window gardens, which we're going to do next. And then we're going to decide whether I'm going to leave it closed and not use them on this building, or I'm going to put some on this building. Maybe even go back to one of the balconies from the previous video. We'll decide then. Because this one's a pretty plain and basic building. So we can fancy up a little bit, give it some jump points on the outside. It might make it a little bit better for Carnivale.
It might do actually.
Right, so I'm going to stick the grey board on apart from the windows around this side, and then we'll come back. Okay guys, so there we go. We've got the screens on, the windows on, the door handle on, that was fiddly, and the frame. Just making sure that's coming off there. Actually just to hold those back ones in place. Yeah. So we haven't put the windows on here yet. When I've been putting the windows on, they're really hard to line up. Your best bet is to try and look at the inside and try and make sure none of the squares are out of place. So try and line up that inner square with the window. You can see that there. So none of the frames showing in there. That's the easiest way though. Have a look on the outside and just make sure it's flush, if you will. Right, so before we decide what we're doing, let's get these gardens out. Okay, so I'll just move these out of the way. And the other roof. Go there, out of the way. Okay, look at these. Okay, so these are the Venetian window gardens for use with any of the Carnivale, or Streets of Venice, should I say, buildings from TT Combat. Mainly for use, I think, with the original set of 4, I think it's for about £20 English at the balconies before as well, because they didn't have a lot of detail on them. So if you've got them, what you can do is you can buy these now and stick them on. I think this shadowed out one on this picture is one of those.
Looks like it.
Hopefully there's no weird stuff with this set.
What, like the other one? It just confused us.
Yeah, so we've got grey board, which makes sense. We've got the little trellis bit for the windows, we've got the window outsides. We've got the picture.
Oh, sorry.
You just throw the picture away.
Just throwing the picture away, there you go.
So we've got the windows, and then we've got these edge parts as well. And then we have the long trellis pieces, so there's 2 of those. And there's 4 window boxes. So those are going to make a box. And then you've got, is that the top?
Looks like the top.
Probably be the bottom then. And then you've got these trellis bits which are supported by these sort of shelf bits. I don't know anything about architecture, obviously. So you've got double ones for the long sides of the buildings, and then you've got a single one for the end of a building, and then you have these ones which go in the middle of a long piece. So you've got a long piece there with a short piece going down, or just on the end of a building, just a short one. So we've got one of those short pieces to go on the end of a building. I've got two long ones that can go on the sides of buildings, and four of the window gardens, which are kind of big enough if that's the lip for someone to stand on. Base size check. Yeah?
No, I think that's the side.
Sorry?
Those
Yeah,
are the
that's that
sides.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. So yeah, probably stand on that. So a good point to jump off, if you will. So, what do we think? Are we going to put one on this building?
I think we should put one on the back and maybe a balcony on the front.
Alright, so do you want to use the small one?
Yeah, I think we should use a small one.
Alright. So we'll take off one of these. One of them. Where do those little bits go?
I don't know.
We'll find out when we're back. We'll take off two of those and one of those, and that should make an end one like this. If we're doing that, then we can stick these windows on, because we don't need to leave them off. Because if we're sticking the door on or anything on,
Yeah.
we'd have to leave those bits off. But if we're doing that, we'll stick the windows on.
I think with it being a long building, if it was like the door was at the front on one of these long sides,
Yeah.
I think you'd get away with a longer window piece,
Yeah,
like one
because
of
it's
them.
like a side building.
Because it's like a side building, I think it lends itself more to having a balcony and a
yeah.
window
So we'll
box
put a
at the back.
balcony on, and we'll put one of these window boxes on. So the window box, I said we'll use the short window box on this one. So you might get to see some of the others in the future when we get some more buildings. It should be one of those. Coming out fairly easy. I'm trying to just quickly do this. That one doesn't want to come out. They don't want to come out. So I'm going to have to cut all those. Right, so let me get these bits out and I'll come back. Okay, so we're back. Quick note, when you're taking these off here, be very careful. Some of these have torn, but you can still see the parts on there when I've taken them off. These top sort of lines on there are sort of attached, so it makes it really difficult to sort of take off. Anyway, I've seen something else as well. I need to take that bit off. This little bit here is meant to come off. I'll sort that out in a minute. Right, okay. So we've prepared a balcony anyway. So if you saw the previous video with the balcony set on there, we've glued one of them together just now, and that's one we've picked. Sort of the Moroccan style one, was it?
Yeah.
Bullets.
Bullets.
So we've got that one there. That was really easy to put together actually. Just remember, just make sure you've got the right base for those. As an addendum to the previous video, I'm going to be using this door as well. So on the other side we're going to have the garden. So the bottom part of the garden is this trellis part, and that's made up of these little bits here. And I'm covered in black stuff again now, off the grey board, if you wonder why my hands are so black. The grey board in that building we took apart was absolutely clean.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything. This was just
this one's just full of it.
It's the same as normal. So this is the trellis bit. You could just put the trellis bit on its own. It gives you a nice like jumping point. But we don't want to do that. It looks cool. So you stick those two on there, which leaves you this little gap there. And that is so that you can put it over these lines there. So that's going to go on there, if you will. I think we're going to put on the other side there on this. So that's what that's for. So they need to be glued in place. Then the garden bed itself. This is the main part of the structure. Behind that will go this. It goes that way around. If you can see that. So you have this like latticed window effect. Is it a lattice?
Yeah, I'd say so. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
It
it's
sounds
lattice window
good.
effect.
Lattice window effect.
This is going to go on the front. I need to push that bit out. I'll do it now actually.
case you forget.
Yeah. And decide, oh, I should have done that. Okay. There we go. And there we go. So, yeah, so what was it? Yes. That goes on there. I think that bit needs to come off as well. It does, doesn't it? That bottom part. It looks like it does on there. Do you have the instructions again? Let's double check before I go cutting it off. Because this one looks like it's got it on, and that one looks like it doesn't. So I want to know for sure. Yeah, it doesn't say to take it off on there. But you see this bit's missing. I'll show you guys this picture. You see there, that grey bit's missing. If you see on there, it isn't. So I'm going to leave that on. And then just put that in place. So you've got like a groove around it. So it's got a bit bent. Glue will sort that out. Right, okay, so that's going to go on the front, that's going to go in the middle part. That's how you build that bit anyway. So what we want to do with the sides is they go on like that with the knobbly bit pointing up, which is going to fasten onto that, as I said previously, leaving you this bottom part, which is what these two are for. These are spacers. So if you glue them on there, like so, you could actually just glue that onto the side of the building then. No, that'd be the bottom part. And you wouldn't need to put the trellis underneath. But what it does, it pushes itself up from the trellis that way. It gives you the right amount of space as well. So it's acting as a spacer. Then these little bits are fancy bits which are going to go all around the outside. So what I'll do, I'll put that together. And hopefully some of that makes sense then. Okay, so we're back. There it is, finished. So hopefully you can see those lines of cardboard. Two went on there. You got to kind of space them out so that they're the right distance, and you still see the edge of the wood. So it does give it like a 3D effect. And then there's one on there as well, one on that side, with two little spaces underneath, and then the other side the same. There's the top, and that's where I got covered in soot. Soot. There we go. And then we have the trellis stuff going on. So, unlike the picture in there, and there's no other way to put this building together, but on the picture it shows that at the front, and you assume that's at the back, but you can only put it that way around, and it doesn't feel like that. It goes the other way. Surprise, surprise. That's the way it goes on. I'll show you what I mean. There's the crack on our wall there. So unless the only other way you can do it is to put iron upside down. Because if you flip that around, then you'd be able to build it the other way around. If you weren't opening it, you could do that if you wanted to, for whatever reason. There we go. So we're going to add these onto here. So the balcony is going to go. This will be the front. The balcony needs to go on there, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Let me fit that on. It would just go on there, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if it's going to have to sit on that lip bit a little bit.
Let's have a look. I'm not sure whether maybe they're not designed to go on, but they're designed to go on the same buildings. So it must be. Bizarre. You'd think there'd be a little bit of an indentation there, wouldn't you?
Mm.
We'll have a look at that. But then the door would, in theory, go on there. Like that. And then you'd have your balcony on there. There's a little bit of a gap. You'd think... I don't know what that's for, because there is a bit there that comes out, but that's not going to help, is it? Because it doesn't go all the way to the end. Right, we're going to double check that and come back. Right guys, we're back. We couldn't find any information on it anywhere. But what I've decided that this bit I've cut off from there. So you got a gap there. I reckon that we thought it was just a bit of fanciness, you know, like on the floor, so like a
ridge
like
almost.
a ridge on the floor.
Yeah.
But I reckon that's actually a spacer. So I reckon I'm guessing that you can cut that off either there or there, depending on how wide the actual lip is. And if there's no lip at all, obviously you don't need to cut anything off. So it goes on different buildings, because that, once I've cut that off, it actually fits on there perfectly. I mean, there is a little bit of a gap. So, and the gap is about the size of that second one there. So if I go ahead and just cut that bit off as well. It's a bit of guesswork, to be honest.
Yeah, the instructions aren't very clear, are they, really?
No, not at all. Use my knife, actually. But I reckon that's what it is, because it fits on if you do it that way. But no idea which length it was, so we can fit whichever one it is, the thin one or the long one, in to fill the gap which is left by that.
I would say it's a very thin one.
I think it's the thin one. So what we'll do, I'll glue that back on, I'll glue that on there, and then we'll go ahead and glue on the door. Meanwhile, on the end, it's pretty straightforward. That actually fits straight on there. If you wanted to, if you wanted to, you wouldn't even need to glue that, but we are going to glue it. So I'm going to centre that up there, and then glue that onto the central as we can make it. So we'll be back when we've done that. Okay, so we're back and we have finished it off. There we go. So yeah, there we go. There's the balcony on. So it was the thin strip that we leave on for this building, and then we're back with the little window garden.
Cool.
There. That's cool. It's a nice little building, actually.
It is actually. It makes it cool now.
Yeah, I do think it looks better with additions on. I'm glad we did use them on this building, not on the... Probably should have unboxed them with this build, but I didn't know at the time which ones I was going to use them on and which ones I wasn't. So there we go. So that is our first of the two houses with extras, complete. Next up we have Venetian Castle. There we go. I don't know whether we're going to be adding anything onto this one, because it's got a lot of fancy stuff on it.
It has already, actually. Yeah, I don't think it needs anything.
But we'll have a look and we'll see. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we have a floor, and we have lots of grey board stuff. Those look like the coins, actually. Kind of different. Actually. So this is a thinner house. It's a bit like one of the... I think it's the first... the same size as the first one we unboxed. The very first house.
Oh, right, okay.
So that sort of size. So we have two lots of the MDF board. And as you can see on the... There's a lot of detail on this one already. Right, so let's get all these parts off and ready to put together, and then we'll come back and mix it up. Okay, so we've got all the parts off, and I've attached hinges already to the doors. So you can see I've put two hinges on there, and these are really thin hinges. I don't know if you see from that angle how thin they actually are. So they won't actually affect when I put this over there later on, which is good because I put them on before I really thought about whether they would affect that or not.
Oops.
But thankfully they are really thin hinges, so it makes no real difference. It's like a millimetre thick, the metal, or something like silly like that, so it's not going to make a difference. But I've hinged them just underneath the windows because obviously it's about the only place hinges will fit. I've got two hinges on there. We've got a hinge on that door, and then we've got a hinge on that door. So there's 3 doors, 4 hinges.
Cool.
Okay, So, this is the first part we're going to use, the floor for the ground floor. And then we have this wall with the window, which is going to go in there. We have the front, which should be double doors there. The back should be somewhere there, some with the brickwork on. And that is going to go that way around. And then once those three are in place, you can slide in your back door, well, back wall, if you will, side wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the door on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say what I just said. Let's ignore that. Okay, so moving on. We'll just stick these 4 parts together and then we should be back. Okay, so there are the walls together. I've put the first floor on, just check it fits. It fits perfectly without any adjustments, which is good news. So the next stage will be to build up the next floor. And to do that, we're going to be using that one on this side. I will take this off to glue it on, obviously. But it helps to actually hold the bottom floor in place, which is what I've done in all the other buildings. So that's going to go on there. And then we have that one on there. We have the blank wall on the back, which goes that way around. And then on the front we have sort of the balcony window, opening window door thing. So I'm going to do the same again, glue these together, and I'm going to make sure the next part fits, which is the part for the roof, which is this. Okay, so there is the first floor together. I've put the roof bit on just to hold it together while I do the next part, which is this balcony part, which consists of this bit. It's like a mini, you can't really stand on it, balcony, if you will.
Cool.
Just like a bit of fanciness. So these parts are going to go in those slots there. And that bit's going to go on the front there, like so. So we're going to glue those bits on, and then we'll be back. Okay, so there is the small balcony. Did you say it was a Juliet balcony or something?
I'm not so sure if it is or not. I know there is a balcony called Juliet. I'm not sure, because it's like a little balcony that you can stand on. And
Right.
I was actually thinking, should you have put the
grey
bit on before?
I've been thinking that as I've been doing it, but I can still fit it in. It's fine.
No, okay.
This build, definitely you could put the grey board on first, but you would then have to wait for the grey board to all dry
I was actually thinking just that bit
before
there.
you start fiddling with it. Otherwise, you're going to spend ages just trying to adjust it, and then it could set wrong if you didn't see it. So that's why I like to put the grey board on last. But if you've got some time to do your build, it's obviously going to be easier to put all the fascia sort of grey board on. I wouldn't put the cornerstones until you put the corners together, the coins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't put those on until you've actually put it all together.
I was just thinking
But the rest of it,
that bit really, because
yeah,
you've put that in front of it
yeah.
now. I mean, like you say, you can probably
yeah,
you can probably get
it'll be a bit
into it.
fiddly, but I can manage it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the TT Combat's instructions aren't great, so we kind of are making it up as we go along.
As per usual.
Yeah, that's fine. So for the roof part, that bit goes on that, and that bit is going to go on that. Obviously I'm going to take this off to glue it again like I did with the previous one. And then we have the end part there, and the other end part there.
This one's a bit different from the others, isn't it?
It's more like the first building we put together because it's just got an open roof. And then on top of that, we'll go this piece of grey board. Now I have pre-scored this. I went over the middle with a knife. Didn't dig in too far, but it did go over a couple of times just to make sure that I could bend this and it would stay
bent
in that pointy formation. If you just try and bend this, it'll just curve, and you'll end up with a curved roof. You don't really want a curved roof, and you'll be forever trying to pat it down. But if you cut it down the middle, slightly, not all the way, just score it, you can then just glue it on. And like I said I don't know if I said in this video or the previous video, when I put on the MDF sealer, I'm not going to put it on the roof because it's, there we go. If you've not seen it before, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or not. This is it, MDF sealer. And it's going to go over the grey board which is attached to the MDF and over all the MDF, but I'm not going to put it on the roof. I did that with the first two buildings and it warped in, sunk in a bit because it's a bit too wet for grey board, to be fair. So I will rely on my spray paint to do that and not get it too damp. Right, okay, so we'll glue the roof together. I'll glue that part of grey board on, and then we may as well make a start on the rest of the grey board. So on the bottom floor we have this part which goes around the windows, and then we have one window for there which you can have open or closed. I'm going to have them closed, and then on the inside though, this is one of the things that would probably be easier to do first, but I've not done it. Like I said, there's some grey board going to go over there now. We've got two large lattice effects. They're going to go over the windows at the side, and then two smaller ones which I believe actually fit into the doors, but I'll let you know after I've done it. They should fit into the door window frames. So they're going to go on there. Then on the first floor we have this, which is very brittle and nearly came apart, which goes around the window frame, around there, which is the part Claire was on about putting on before we did that. And then we have two small windows, which are going to go around each of those. We also have three door handles, titchy little door handles here. I'm trying to figure out where they go. One's going to go on there. If I just open that. I haven't really got it over. That's good.
Destroyed it.
So I destroyed it. Yeah, there's nowhere for a door handle to go on there, to be fair. And there isn't on there. And you only get three of them. But if you're going to put one here, you need two for that, and then one for that. And then you don't have one for that. Which is a bit odd. But the only space I've got to put one on is there. Plus, I cannot see it on the picture. It's a very good drawing. It almost looks like a photograph, you might even say. I cannot see the door handle on there, maybe because of the balcony, but it's definitely not one on there. And they've given you three, which is a bit weird. So I'm only going to stick one on the side door and leave the others off, because they're a bit fiddly anyway.
Unless it's in case you lose them.
Possibly, they are titchy, so maybe they give you three just in case you take them off. Which is one thing I didn't do straight away. I left them on the piece of card, and I've only just cut them off. So, right, so I'm going to put all of this together now, and then we're going to finish off by doing the coins, and these are smaller ones than on the previous building, and they're all the same, but they sort of interlock. Hopefully you can see that one there. They interlock, so once you've got one that way, one on the next one will interlock that way. And it makes a slightly better looking corner, if you will, because you don't have the gap in the middle, but they are smaller and they are fiddly, and they're very easy to break these little segments off as well, so just be careful when you're cutting these. As you can see, some of them are, at the ends are getting a bit bent just by picking them up, so I'm going to stop doing that and start gluing them on. So we'll be back when it's done. Okay, so we're done. Here it is. The casa.
That is funky.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's a nice little building. It's a nice little build.
Still drying. I'm trying to be very careful. The door's still open. Yay! All the doors open. Closing this one's a bit of a bitch though. I don't want to just pause it either because it's still drying as well, like cardboard. But there we go. That is the casa. And then we have the
Other one.
Asian house. So you see them next to each other. That works pretty well. There we go. Awesome.
That's really funky.
Just for scale purposes, in case anyone was wondering, especially about this balcony, you can fit a 30mm Carnivale base on there. That's kind of the scale we're looking at with these. They're a good scale. Can't fit anything bigger than that on there, obviously.
No.
And if we seal that around, obviously for jumping off points, if you're playing Carnivale, you can balance them on there, that's fine. Just about. Just about. Actually, because it kind of wedges, the shape of the base wedges under that, so it just kind of work. I won't be. These are obviously the resin models. I won't be trying that with the metal ones. If you've got some of the older ones. There we go. So there we go. Those are two cool buildings for our Streets of Venice set. So I need to go ahead and start getting these painted up. We'll seal them and get them painted along with the other two I've done already, and the bridges and stuff.
Exciting stuff.
And in the next video we've got two more buildings. We've got another casa, I think, is it?
I think so. Casa.
And one of the shops.
And the shop.
One of the shops looks like this. We've not got the corner shop yet. That's one I want in the future. But one of the shops and another casa. And we've also got the wells as well.
We have.
The wells set.
And the clock tower.
Yes, that's for a future video. Along with the dice tower and the clock tower. So we've got those to unbox yet. So you'll see those in the future. As for now, please like and subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you again soon, guys.
See you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.